How's it going, lads, and welcome back to another video on FM Scout, and actually the final part to Celtic Rangers in England. And today we're going to continue another 2 seasons, so I think we're actually into our 8th season now, to see how Celtic and Rangers get on in England. Have they developed like people say they would? Would they just be a championship team, or would they be a high Premier League team? Now, if you haven't watched any other part up until this point, then please do go back and see it all, and you'll see where we are to this point. I will skim over Celtic and Rangers history in England, well, once we get started. If you are currently looking for a Football Manager series, then I have 2 currently going over on my channel. I do one with Lupa Roma FC, a very low Italian side, and I've currently got them up to Serie A. Not that that spoils much, I'm going to get there eventually. And also I'm doing one with Celtic FC, which is obviously one of the teams in this video. So starting off, as always, we'll have a look at how Celtic have got on in their years at Celtic. Not at Celtic, in England. So we started off, they came first in Sky Bet League 2. Season after that, they came third in Sky Bet League 1. Then after that, they obviously came first in Sky Bet League 1. So they were champions of Sky Bet League 2, nearly champions of League 1, then became champions of League 1 the year after, then came 7th in the Championship, 4th in the Championship, and then got promoted into the Premier League, and then instantly relegated from the Premier League back down into the Championship, where they became 6th. And this season, they finished 3rd in the Championship and then finished 5th. So have a quick look at the Championship. They finished actually 8th this year, but we'll have a look at you'd say they finished 8th, but this season's not just started. Okay, so they came 3rd and obviously lost in the playoff final to, I think it must have been Swansea then, or was it Wolves? Anyway, it was very, very hard done by, it seems, to lose in the playoffs. So he played 27 games, drawn 7 games and lost 12. Scored 79 goals and let in 51. Now, Celtic's manager is actually John Kennedy. That's really, really surprising to see, because John Kennedy is currently one of our coaches. And you can see in his career stats, his career ended very prematurely due to an injury that he sustained at Celtic, and it meant that his career was ended altogether. So he's meant to be a very promising player. And if you actually look at his achievements, he's actually been, a Celtic player for 10 years. Again, only won the Premiership in 1 year, and that was 2004. He was obviously loaned out, and then he became a scout, assistant manager, coach, and then became caretaker manager on 3 occasions, and now becoming full-time manager. So this is all John Kennedy's doing. And let's have a look at Celtic's transfers for that season. So transfer history is it this one? 2023 to 2024 is here. Now again, spent 21 million, well 21.5 million and sold 21 million. In terms of fees, signed John Ludstrom from Charlton for 6.5 million. See, this is the problem that might happen in real life as well as in Football Manager. English players are very overpriced. Say if this John Lundstrom was from, I don't know, an obscure country like Serbia. No, it's not really an obscure country, but it's not one of the countries that have the most high profile players. Would you have paid 6.5 million for him? I definitely wouldn't have. So maybe that's a problem in Football Manager and in real life, that maybe English players are a little bit overpriced. Sean Bryan is a regen who is an attacking right midfielder, and Celtic really do have that way of signing players one season and selling them instantly, because he's not even at Celtic anymore, he's at QPR. Jed Wallace from Ipswich, who's still at Celtic again, 2.7 million. Lewis Coyle from Charlton for 2.9, 1.4 for Edward Barnett, another striker regen, still at Celtic now on 24k a week. James Tarkowski isn't at Celtic anymore, he's a 32-year-old English centre-back. Angus Gunn, a goalkeeper. Masadio Haidara, the former Newcastle player, signed for 600k, not at Celtic anymore. It's just a running theme. Callum Drury, another goalkeeper who doesn't seem great, looks like a backup goalkeeper. And Mark Ross Kelly. In terms of players, they sold Tommy Docherty to West Brom for 15.75 million. Again, doesn't look great apart from his physicals are obviously really good. Dimitar Evtimov was a goalkeeper, sold to AC Milan, weirdly enough, probably as a backup goalkeeper. Borja Baston to Nice, Tom Thorpe to Bolton, Billy Topham to Southampton, Pedro Cherevela to Fulham, Johan Bergud Munson sold to Leeds, and Jed Steer to Chesterfield. A lot of players that then left on freeze, and Michael Morrison actually retired. Now, looking at the Championship of where they finished last season, was they finished 5th. Now, I can't remember Yeah, so they finished 5th, so that means they went into the playoffs and obviously lost at some point in the playoff. Them and Middlesbrough lost. So they actually went down a little bit, played 23 games, drew 8 and lost 15, scored 72 and let in 55. And looking at their transfers for that season, the 2024 to 2025 season, was they actually cut their spending a lot. They only signed £3.4 million worth of players. Isa Suleiman from Birmingham for 1.4, Tyler Roberts from Everton for 1.1, Alfie Mawson from Cardiff, no regens really, James Husband, Cam Wardwood, okay there's a regen, right midfielder not great, Michael Donaldson in on a free from Motherwell, James Allison, and actually a decent free transfer as a striker, that's 16 finish and 40 composure, I think he's fairly quick. Cyrus Christie, a right back again on a free, and Josh Surman. So you know, it's a lot better than spending £6 million on players that aren't going to get you promotion. But in terms of players sold, they sold 4.5. So not only did they cut spending, but they also cut the players out. Sean Bryan to QPR again, one of the players they signed last season and it's not there anymore. Jack Stevens, Neil Gaston, Justin Wood, James Tarkowski, and Wes Tanser. Wes Tanser, never mind. You guys would know why that name's familiar if you do watch other channels. And a lot of players out on frees, more namely Kieran Trippier, Dusan Tadic, Lucas Piazon is out on loan. A lot of players going out on loan. So that was them, and in this season they've signed someone called Kane Wilson, who again he actually does look alright. I'll give them that. But I'm not looking at this season because this is where the series will stop. So going on to look at Rangers to see how they got on. In the first year, they got automatic promotion from League 2 with Celtic, and in the season where Celtic finished 3rd in League 1, Rangers actually got promotion into the Championship. So they went into the Championship, finished 21st, survived, made an improvement, made 16th, and then finished dead last and got relegated into League 1. Won League 1 the first time of asking again, jumped back up into the Championship and had a massive improvement of finishing 9th, then finished 8th, and then finished 9th again. And Billy Barr is their manager. Doesn't seem the greatest manager to ever live, but this is how Rangers got on in the Championship for those 2 years. Obviously we'll have a little more in-depth view. So it was a 2023 to 24, they finished 8th, 21, 9 drawn and 17 lost with 69 points. And their transfers for that season, let's have a look, 2023. They again have cut their spending, not as if they spent as much as Celtic, but Jason McCarthy, the right back or centre back, was signed from Preston. Luke O'Nien, again, loads of players that doesn't really seem like they'll get you promotion, but they'll survive you in the Championship. Kane Hemmings, again, I think he's retired now. Ryan McLaughlin, Joe Fitzpatrick, Jordan Much, David Davis, Steve Ear, and other than that, just a load of frees. No big names in there, apart from Aaron Cresswell, who actually got on loan from Leicester, is now retired. In terms of players sold, they sold Kane Wilson. That's not the one at City. Yeah, he's at Celtic now. That's weird. It was played for Rangers for 3 years, and now Celtic have signed him from Swansea. But in terms of other players sold, Hamza Chowdhury for 1.2 million to Fulham, Ryan Ellis for 1.2 to Tottenham. Looked like a good regen, could actually develop to be really good if they keep developing him. Marcus Barnes to Brighton, Callum Robinson to QPR, and John Perry Jr. Baptiste, one of the best names I've ever heard, joined Exeter. He doesn't look that bad of a player. Now a lot of players out on frees, any big names, any ones I recognise are only Alex Pritchard, Zeki Friars, and Ketchiani, James Milner have all retired. And this season, or last season, they made £4.6 million worth of signings and sold 9.25. So they're doing decent business. Sid Nelson from Brighton for 1.3, Kadeem Harris from Derby for 600k, Ben Pearson from Birmingham, Ryan Potter from Derby, Casey Palmer from Brighton. We'll have a look at Ryan Potter again. Looks a really good striker, a right winger actually, 16 finishing and 16 composure. Sean Murray, he's now 31 years old, physicals aren't great anymore, from Millwall. Nicky Slater from Hull, again a left back who's a regen, very good physically. Matthew Pennington from Cardiff, Kevin Long from Fulham, and a few players on free, most notably Carl Jenkinson, and that is that. In terms of players sold, Brahim Diaz to Everton for 7.25, a good signing and some good business done there by Rangers. Ross McBride sold to West Ham for 975k, future fee of 2 million. Nathan Bulpin sold to Southampton, Andy McManus to Leicester, John Ritchie to Fleetwood, and on frees, Nedum Manua actually retired, and Kane Hemmings retired too. But having a quick look at how Rangers did in that season just there, which you've just skipped over. And they ended up finishing 9th, 17 games won, 14 games drawn, 15 games lost, and 65 points. So that is going to be the end of the Old Firm in England simulation. I wouldn't really call it an experiment, it was just a kind of observation of, because there's always a big debate on whether Celtic and Rangers should move to England and how Celtic and Rangers would do in England. Obviously this simulation is not set in stone, it's not what would actually happen in real life. It may as well do, it might not, it could work the opposite way, it could work the exact way this has. But it's just been a little insight. I find it interesting because I'm obviously a big fan of Scottish football, I'm a big fan of Celtic, and my opinion would be I wouldn't want Celtic and Rangers to join the English leagues. I'd rather stay in Scottish football, and that's that. But if you have enjoyed this short simulation, then please do leave a like. Comment on any of your opinions on the simulation as well. Whether you think it was fair, whether you think the Old Firm could do any better. And also subscribe if you're new too. And also if you're looking for a Football Manager series, then please go over onto my channel where you'll find 2 going on at the minute. Hopefully you enjoy them. If you do, then don't forget to subscribe over there. And now I'm going to go on to talk about the FM Scout website. So here we are on the FM Scout website. Again, it offers a whole host of tools that you guys can use to better yourself at Football Manager. In terms of scouting, you've got the FM17 Wonder Kids, best coaches, free players, bargain buys. If you're struggling to find players to sign, you can get a club finder and who to manage. And if you're really struggling to get a new save and get into one, you can download tactics, you can share tactics, you can ask for tactical advice if you really are struggling. In terms of add-ons, there's so many. You've got the real name fixes for things like the Champions League and Europa League and team names. You get the face packs as well, which is a nice addition if you can, obviously, your computer can handle it. You've got skins to make your Football Manager look that little bit neater. The updated kits and also random databases. In terms of tools, you've got the FM Scout Editor 17, you've got Genie Scout, you've got Mac Assistant, and you've got the pre-game editor. In terms of guides, you've got the in-depth guide, a little bit of quick tips, team guides, tutorials, hints and tricks, and the manual to Football Manager. In terms of help, you've got all your troubleshooting articles here, and as well as the blog, the latest news, experiments, the weekly digest, and memes apparently. Members as well, if you're a member of FM Scout, you'll appear under here. And football, you've got the football views, the fantasy league, live streaming, and video highlights. Again, Football Manager, FM Scout in general, the interface is very nice. You won't get lost around here. You can find loads of videos that are on the FM Scout channel as well, but I would highly recommend that you come over here to the website and just run riot. But this is going to be the end of this episode. If you have enjoyed, then please leave a like, subscribe to FM Scout as well, and I'll see you all in the next video. But until then, finders keepers, losers weepers.